So I am super excited for this video because I went through my full eyeshadow palette collection and I picked out 15 palettes in my collection that have the most unique color stories, palettes that were favorites and still are, that are fun, and they make me feel inspired to do my eyeshadow. I love makeup so much, but my favorite thing in the world are indie palettes. But if you guys are interested in seeing what I pulled out, then just keep watching. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Heather. I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands. And if you guys love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. I did film this look and it's probably not up yet because this is the first look I'm filming with the Flutter palette, but is it not freaking gorgeous? I've actually created 2 looks with this. I did my birthday look with this palette off of camera, but so far I'm really loving it. I think it's so freaking gorgeous. And I made this little thing for these videos so that I could be like a fairy. I did it for my reels that I'm going to do over on Instagram. I love fantasy everything, fantasy makeup, fantasy books, and TV. It's so fun for me, and I always think it's a good time. So I was ready to live my best fairy fantasy life for this video, but that video will be coming very soon. So now let's talk about these palettes. So these palettes are in no particular order. I'm just going to show them to you and explain why I love them and why I thought they would be perfect for this video. So the first one is the SAMARIAN Sunset by Adept Cosmetics. This palette is gorgeous. And the color story, like if you look at it straight away, you're like, well, there's nothing really unique about this because there's really not with the mattes. But the shimmers that are in this palette are so incredible. There are so many unique shades that I have not seen anywhere else. And these two on the end also flip pink, which actually you would think wouldn't go well with this, with the matte color story at all, but they really do. This freaking holochrome is everything. But I feel like this palette is gorgeous, and I truly don't have anything close to it in my collection at all. So I'm really happy that I picked this one up. I absolutely had to mention this palette in this video, and it's the Merry Christmas. So I recently did a video talking about some of the most unforgettable palettes in my collection, and I should have added this palette. I completely looked over that section on my shelf, but this color story is so freaking unique. And what I love so much about unique palettes and unique color stories is it makes you see different pairings that you wouldn't naturally think of on your own. At least I wouldn't. But these are gorgeous. These reds, like in the crease with this mint in the inner corner, is freaking gorgeous, especially when you find the perfect shimmer to pair it with. Like, for instance, I would do this one like on the outer half of the lid, and then maybe this one in the front portion, and it's gorgeous. I just love this. This palette really makes me think outside of the box, and that's what I love about buying eyeshadow palettes and indie brands. Indie brands create concepts and color stories that I feel like mainstream brands do not, and most of the time I feel like they knock it out of the park. And there's no way I could mention the Merry Christmas palette without bringing up the Christmas Eve. This one should have been in that same video as well. I cannot believe I forgot this one. But this is another very unique color story in my collection. I love the yellows with these greens, and this was my first time in a really long time playing with cool tones, And honestly, I thought out of the two that I would love this one more, but I think I like this one more. It just blew my freaking mind. This metallic shade down here, it's like a duochrome. It shifts from blue to pink. It's probably a multichrome, but it's also got hints of like this mustard shade. And if you've been here for a while, you know I freaking love those mustard tones. I love the grungy neutrals. It just makes me so happy. But the color combos, again, you're going to hear me say that a lot. But these two shades right here with this deep multichrome, or is that a duo, on the outer part of the lid, and maybe like this gold with a little bit of this antique gold tapped in the center. That would be a freaking gorgeous look, maybe with a little bit of that yellow in the inner corner. I just see so many possibilities with both of these palettes, and I think they're incredible. It sucks that they're no longer available. You probably could find them on Macari or something, but if they ever bring them back, which we never thought they would the last time, I highly recommend them. And since we're on the Odens Eye train, I do have, I think, two more. I love this one, the Mighty Monster. This was the collab with Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. I've always loved her channel so much, but this is a very unique color story. I had so much fun. These shimmers down here are so incredible. That's the one thing about being a content creator, which is first world problems. It's that I feel like I don't get to use my stuff enough and it kills me. But these three shades are freaking gorgeous. There's so much you could do with this one. I mean, you could do these two as mattes, these two, and you could figure out a way to mix all three together. Maybe, let's think. Maybe the red like on the inner part, this green on the outer corner, blend them both out with the yellow and do a little bit of a inner corner yellow pop in the center, and then do these two on the lid, maybe with a little bit of this to help that green fade in. I mean, that's such a fun, unique type of look. The blue with the purple and the red would be fun as well. Again, with the possibilities, I love the artwork. I love looking at palettes like these and drawing inspiration from the color. Like, the artwork on these palettes are beautiful, so that tells you, well, tells me that any kind of look you create with all of these colors in mind is going to be freaking mind-blowing. And that's how I like to come up with some of my like concepts for eye looks. Now we also have to talk about the trick or treat. I love the little ghost palette too, but this little baby has a very unique color story. I love it. I love the greens with the oranges, but you have like this olive green down here, these gorgeous wine shades. I remember when I first saw these palettes before I picked them up, I was so drawn to this little square, but this whole palette is a freaking good time. And there's so many different really cool color combos that you can come up with as well. I just had so much freaking fun with this one, and I think these are still available. Okay, so I have a few Unearthly in here, which there's so many Unearthly palettes that I could throw into this, but I talk about them so much, so I only let myself pick out a couple. And one of the first ones I want to talk about is the Resurgence palette. This was a collab with Heather Austin, and I think she knocked this out of the park. The thing that sucks for me though is I'm allergic to these two shades down here. They make my eyes water so bad, but I just got put on a bunch of allergy medicine because apparently I'm allergic to everything, and now I'm wondering if maybe I can use these now. I'll have to look into that. But to me, this palette is gorgeous. This color story is so fun and exciting. There's so many possibilities. The pink and green together, maybe like deepen the pink up with a little bit of this black up here, and the shade Transformation on the lid with a little bit of the satin is an inner corner pop. I mean, you could mix the pink and the blue the blue and the green, the red and the pink. Like, there's so much. It's so fun. I get so excited when I look at these palettes. It makes me so happy. The Daily Grind blew my freaking mind. I have a reel up on this on Instagram, and it makes me laugh every time I watch it. But my Instagram is linked down below if you guys are interested. But I love this bright green mixed with these oranges and this gorgeous mustard shade. This shimmers. Everything about this is perfect. I've never seen anything like it. I actually bought this a couple of months ago, and ever since I've been head over heels in love with it. It is such a freaking fun palette. So happy to have it in my collection. I think she is discontinuing it though. So if you're interested, I would pick it up. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do have a code with Unearthly Cosmetics. It is AOML. It is affiliated, so if you use it, I really do appreciate it. But one of my favorite palettes from Unearthly is the freaking DEVOUR palette. I mean, come on. This is beautiful. This color story inspires me so much. When I first saw this, I lost my mind. I truly didn't think I could love it more, but then I got it in and I started playing with it. And I am so head over heels in love with this one. It is freaking gorgeous. I love the wine shades with those greens. These three shades over here are Gorgeous Trap. Is one of the most beautiful shades I've ever seen in my whole life. And I really love the two iridescent topper light shades. Great for inner corner highlights and face highlight. But I'm pretty sure this one's out of stock, but it is coming back. So this was the first palette I tried from DEDE's Signature. And this palette is what makes me keep wanting more from them. This is such a fun, colorful, unique color story. I think it's beautiful. There's so much you can do with this. I had so much fun filming my videos with this one. And I've had fun with it off camera as well. But right now, even looking at it, these two shades, this one in the front of the crease, this one in the back end, deepened up with this one, with that on the lid, maybe a little bit of that in the inner corner. That would be such a freaking gorgeous look. But I also love these shades together as well. It's just so fun, and this gets me so excited for this brand. I know she's coming out with it's 4 or 5 pan palettes. That's a collab with Makeup on Your Radar, and as long as I can afford to, I have full intentions of picking that one up, but I'm super excited about it. So this palette from Guermont Girls blew my freaking mind. I'm still in love with it. I mean, it's not a very old palette in all fairness, but this color story is glorious. I love the muted, like, woodsy vibes of this, but the pops of peach and then these green shades, it is so freaking good. Oh my God, Fuzzball, I talk about it in almost every video. Blows my mind. And Papa Don't Peach. This palette is fun. I had so much fun with this one. I know this is one that's going to go down in like the Hall of Fame. It's probably going to be towards the top for the year. I can't imagine like it being anywhere else. It is freaking perfect. And it's also the reason why I picked up the last 3 palettes that she released. I'm waiting for them, but I'm really excited to create some looks with them and give you guys my thoughts on them. But honestly, from the looks of the photos and stuff, I really think I'm going to love them. Plus, 2 of them were in the Ice Cream Beauty Box, which I did pick up. One of my friends told me about it, and I'm so glad that she did, because that beauty box looks really cool. But 2 of the palettes were actually in that box, and it's a collab with Ladybug Glow, and I actually have not tried them yet, so I'm super excited for those. The next is Fantasy Cosmetica. I only have 2 palettes from them, and I swear I'm buying the rest, but it's the Wizard palette. I'm so in love with this color story. I think I talked about this in that other video that I mentioned, but you're probably going to hear me rave about this one for the rest of my freaking life because it is spectacular. I truly cannot rave about it more. It makes me want to go buy every palette on their site and let me get a sale and see what happens because I think I will lose my freaking mind. This next one is a really good one, and it's the OCEANO palette from Cleon Cosmetics. The color story is freaking gorgeous. I will tell you though, you do get a lot of kick up in the pan with these matte shades, and if you buy this, I recommend doing your eyes first because I did deal with some fallout as well. I've played with it more off camera, so I pretty much gathered my thoughts on this one, but I have not put it in my ranking yet. I actually plan on filming that next, but this palette is freaking beautiful. I love the color story. The shimmers are gorgeous. This shade is so unreal. It just doesn't pick up on camera the way that it does in real life. It just, I have eyeshadow all over my hands. It's just, it's so, there we go. Yes. That is freaking gorgeous. If you guys know like anything about me, you know how much I love orange. And that is so like freaking luminescent. It is beautiful. But I had so much fun with this that I almost picked up the other two. But there's so many releases right now. I eventually decided against it. But I've had a blast with this one. Just heed my warning. This is another new one, and I actually filmed my Q&A with this palette, but I have to refilm the Q&A because my audio was messed up, which sucks so bad. But it is the Bella Beauty Bar Recently De-Influenced palette. This palette is freaking spectacular. I love the looks that I've created with this so much. If I still have the shorts on my phone, I will like pop up some videos for you guys, but I don't know if I do. But this is so beautiful. Such a gorgeous color story. I love the mix of greens, purples, and reds. These shimmer shades are spectacular. I just picked this up recently. That's funny because it's the recently de-influenced. But I had FOMO over this palette for the whole year until I got it in my hands. And now, dare I say, I think it is my favorite palette from Bella Beauty Bar. And you guys know how much I freaking love them. Last but not least, I am down to my last two palettes. And they are both cosmic brushes. But the first one I want to talk about is the MUSE. This is a freaking fairy dream. It kind of goes with my vibes today. But I love this palette. I love Cosmic Beauty, Cosmic Brushes. I wish I knew what their freaking name was. I need to message them and ask so I don't keep having to say all 10 like in every video. But this palette is so gorgeous. I love the color story. It's so earthy and whimsical. It's gorgeous. And I've had so much fun with it. And I miss it. I haven't got to play with it probably in over 6 months. So that's one I really want to pull back out. But Serenity has my heart. I don't know. I really love the Muse too, but I think Serenity might be my favorite. This is such a fun, unique color story. And really, the thing that makes it the most unique is the undertones of a lot of these shades. These two right here are freaking incredible. And this pop of orange really just brings so much more to this palette. It is so fun. I swear this brand really knocks it out of the park every time. And it makes me fall more and more in love with them every time I buy a new palette. I know I just picked up their two latest and I'm so blown away by them. This is a brand I desperately want to get a code with eventually because how could I not support something so freaking fantastic? Another one is Fantasy Cosmetica and Guermont Girls, but I love them so freaking much. They are so incredible and I truly recommend every single palette on that site. If the color story speaks to you, then I think you can't go wrong. But that is it. Those are all of the palettes I wanted to talk with you guys about. These are some of my absolute favorites, but you guys are going to have to let me know down below what your favorites are. I would love to hear from you. Maybe I'm missing out on something, or maybe it's something I have and you can help me see it in a new light. So I really appreciate it. I love hearing from you guys, and thank you so much for helping me reach my goal to 1K. I'm so excited, and sometime next week I should be able to film the video about the giveaway and the video with Amanda doing my makeup. I'm so excited for that. But to all of the new people here, I thank you too for being a part of our community. I hope you love it here. But thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And leave your favorite fairy emoji down below in the comments. But until next time, bye.